Damian Lillard finally made the right decision and has asked for a trade out of Portland, but it's starting to get ugly as reports are coming in that the Portland Trailblazers aren't willing to give him exactly what he wants. So a few days ago, Damian Lillard finally made the decision that everyone has been telling him for the past 5 years. If you guys remember, Damian Lillard was drafted by the Portland Trailblazers, and Damian Lillard has prided himself on being a dying breed, and that dying breed being a superstar in the NBA who remains loyal. Ever since LeBron James changed the game forever when he made his decision to go from Cleveland to Miami, other superstars have followed suit, and the league now has become more mobile than it ever was. And after LeBron was Kevin Durant when he made the decision to join the Golden State Warriors that had just beaten him in the playoffs in 2016. And because of this, now players are leaving and moving so frequent. In fact, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, who played on the same team last year, between those three guys, they have requested 7 trades in the last 2 seasons. That goes to show you just how mobile this whole league has become. But Damian Lillard prides himself on going against the grain, doing something that everyone else isn't doing. And he's really a dying breed. Him, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Steph Curry are one of the only superstars that have remained with the team that drafted them, and they've gotten some sort of individual success. But unlike Giannis Antetokounmpo and Steph Curry, Damian Lillard has garnered personal success in the form of all-star appearances and all-NBA team selections, but he hasn't reached team success. Steph Curry has won 4 championships. Giannis Antetokounmpo has won 1 with the Milwaukee Bucks, because those organizations have been able to put talent around those guys in order for them to actually compete. Damian Lillard can't say the same. Damian Lillard has been stuck with a team that is incompetent in terms of the front office, is unable to secure him talent to play with him to compete for titles, right? And it's been that way for the past 6 years now. For the past 6 years, the Portland Trailblazers have been a team that's been a middle-of-the-pack team, in which they aren't good enough to actually go deep into the playoffs and compete for a title, and they're not bad enough because of Damian Lillard to be a lottery pick team. And so they've just been a mediocre team that gets into the playoff every year and is bounced out by the first or the second round, or around the 5th or the 6th seed in the Western Conference. And the time for that has finally come to an end. And that is because the Portland Trailblazers finally showed their hands on draft night. They had the 3rd pick overall, which is a rarity for the Trailblazers because they're normally, middle of the pack. And the reason they got the 3rd pick overall was because Damian was injured this season. So it gave them an opportunity to actually get a really good pick, the 3rd pick. That pick, Damian thought they were going to use to get a superstar to come play with them. Someone like Bradley Beal, someone they could trade for. Maybe they could use that to trade for someone like Karl-Anthony Towns. There were a bunch of possibilities that the Trailblazers could have went, but they decided to choose Scoot Henderson. They drafted him, and that was a clear signal to Damian that we are not committed to you. You've showed us a lot of loyalty, but we are committed to doing what we want to do. And that finally opened Damian's eyes to the mismanagement that the organization has been doing on his behalf, not being able to surround him with talent. When they have capital to go get talent on a free market, they didn't. They didn't do that. They opted to start building a new team. And so Damian, being 32, doesn't have a lot left in his tank, and it's high time he competes on a team that's able to compete for a title. And because of that, he wanted a trade. Now, the organization is not going to give him what he wants, which is what? He wants to specifically be traded to the Miami Heat. He wants to go play there, right? But this is the thing. Miami Heat know that Damian wants to play with us. It gives them leverage because they're able to give almost nothing for Damian Lillard, who already wants to play for them. And the Trailblazers, in return, don't get the fair market value that they could get if they bargain with other teams, right? Because there are other teams that are going to want Damian Lillard on their team, right? Like the Boston Celtics. A lot of teams would love to have Damian on his team. He's a first ballot Hall of Fame. And so they're going to trade Damian to the highest bidder. And this doesn't kind of sit right with me, but then I also understand. It doesn't sit right with me because Damian has showed so much loyalty to this organization. Time and time again, off-season and off-season again, where everybody was telling him to leave this organization and look out for himself, he's said, no, I want to be loyal. I want to do something here. The Blazers have benefited because of that. And so now that it's time for them to show some good faith to him in return to what he's done for the organization for the past 10 years, 11 years, they are now being stingy.